So earning a full scholarship has always been the only realistic ticket for me to get superior education. This allowed me to escape from Hovd, tiny little town in far western Mongolia, 1,100 miles away from the capital city. And this scholarship carried me across the globe to Norway and later to the United States for higher education. 12 years ago, exactly in 2013, when I received acceptance letter from Harvard Business School, I felt joy, disbelief, and then anxiety. The HBS fellowship I received was generous, but not enough to cover full costs of tuition and living. So I turned to Mongolian government-sponsored education loan program, which was specifically set up for helping students like me, Mongolian students, enrolled in top global schools around the world. Of course, I was confident. So I prepared confidently for the application and went through the entire selection process. And at the end, though, after a 5-minute interview with simple 3 questions, I was rejected. I couldn't believe it. But it was really disappointing, especially for my parents, who really trusted this institution. I thought maybe I wasn't good enough. So I moved on. 2 years ago, in 2023, so before I got elected as an MP, public information disclosure law came into effect in Mongolia. So the question I have had for very, very long time, for 12 years, who gets selected by this education loan program? So a lot of data was disclosed. So I dug in, of course, and I really wanted to know who were the people who got accepted by this prestigious education loan program. And then what I found was staggering. More than 90% of $100 million distributed by the fund has been dispersed to politicians, high-ranking officials, and their children, and those who had privileged access to the information. I was shocked, but not too surprised. And that fund has been acting not as a public service, but as a private privilege. And I couldn't stay silent. No, not me. So in May 2023, exactly 2 years ago, I held a press conference and laid out all the facts, the misuse, the mismanagement, and the abuse, and the conflicting and the staggering numbers. And of course, there was a huge public outcry. And I included the list of 7 former, including current ministers of education, who abused their power, both ethically and legally. And some found it, it was an attack on their political reputation. But for students, parents, and working families across the country, it was something much deeper. It was an attack on their dreams and hopes. Because in my country, parents spend their life savings to get the best possible education for their children. And the government had to respond. So they disclosed more information, more public records. And this is where the biggest shock of all came. I wasn't expecting this. And I learned that all these years, in the past 12 years, I actually had been awarded the loan on paper, but was never given the money. And Parliament was quick to act and finally passed a law banning politicians and high-ranking officials from accessing taxpayer-funded loans and scholarships. And this year, the education loan program selection process has been transparent, and which I'm grateful, but not perfect yet. And this journey, and in many ways, I was lucky, but I was probably outlier of an outlier. Opportunities, especially educational opportunities, should never depend on luck. Education is a right, one where it shouldn't be a favor traded behind closed doors. And it's why I decided to write a book. I'll wait.
It's the sad soundtrack.
Yeah. So I decided to write a book. It's called Hope to Harvard, and it's not a success story, but it offers a mirror to the other young people who still wonder whether they can make it too. And the lesson learned: there is never wrong time to do the right thing. That I can tell you. There is never wrong time to do the right thing. But there is never right time to do the wrong thing. There is never right time to do the wrong thing. And in the end, we are all educated, not just to climb higher. We are educated to unlock potential of others, to empower others. Thank you.